Chapter 15, The Door Beneath the Door. The house had begun to unravel with grace. Like a dancer forgetting the choreography mid-spin. It collapsed in beautiful, symmetrical spasms, walls folding into floors, staircases resolving into whispers, ceilings giving way to teeth. At the center of it, Oren walked downward. Always downward. Though the stairs moved in loops and the walls sometimes insisted they were up, not down. Still, he walked. Behind him trailed a thread of something like shadow, though it carried no light. It was the trail of choices unmade, glistening faintly like wet thread, tugging on his ankles when he tried to forget. Each step brought the smell of salt and soot, and something else, an almost musical wrongness, like a lullaby played in reverse over a baby's grave. The staircase ended in a room that did not exist until he saw it. Talia and Elias moved through a corridor lined with clocks that ticked only when no one listened. On the third tick, the corridor blinked and became a hallway they had walked years before, though neither of them had ever seen it. "This was my uncle's house," Elias said softly. Talia touched the wallpaper. "This is my uncle's house." They didn't speak again for several minutes, because the house between their memories began to whisper back to them, not in voices, but in textures. The itch of wool from a forgotten winter, the oily damp of a basement no one ever cleaned, the quiet tremble of wallpaper glue losing its grip. At the end of the hall was a door that had once been a mirror. They opened it anyway. Luna found the sea. Not the real one, the house's sea. The one it had kept locked in its throat all these years. A horizon where boats moved in looping circles, never making port, always on the verge of sinking but never allowed the grace. On the black beach, she found a lighthouse carved into the spine of a whale. Its lantern was a single enormous eye, blinking very slowly. Rowan joined her moments later, his coat now covered in frost, though the air was hot and smelled of rust. "They're calling us," Luna said, her voice muffled by something large in the air. "The other versions." Rowan didn't ask who. He already knew. In the deepest part of the house, the part it had never meant to use, Oren came to the second door. It had no key. It had no hinge. It did not open. It noticed. As he approached, his thoughts began to shift, not in content but in origin. He remembered things he had never lived. The names of insects that had never been classified. The sound of his mother's scream during childbirth, not his, but someone else's. Maybe Talia's. Maybe the child's. Maybe the house itself. The door blinked. And Oren realized. This was not the door to another room. This was the door beneath the idea of doors. The one the house had never dared open even to itself. On the cliffs above the northern sea, the hunger had begun to stand. It had shape now, limbs made of architectural regret. A face composed of misplaced heirlooms. It stepped from the cave and into the wind that tasted like sleep. With each stride, rooms collapsed behind it. Old houses across the world cracked down their centers. Some people felt it pass and woke up crying without knowing why. A voice in Oren's mind, maybe his own, maybe the house's, said. "This is the moment before the breath. The last breath. The one that forgets who it belonged to." And with that, the door opened. Not like a door. Like an eye.